Hello everyone. It's a nice sunny day here on the farmhouse. Kind of filtered sunshine, but everything's melting. It's 45 degrees outside right now. I believe coming up here in the future days, there's supposed to be more clouds and more rain coming. But luckily, I haven't heard anything more about any more snow. I have another loaf of bread here in the bread maker. And I'm pretty sure we're going to barbecue some pork steaks for supper. I would say another 5 minutes and they're done. I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese and some baked beans to go along with the pork steaks. Okay everyone, it's about 10:30 at night. It's 26 degrees and we are going to bed. Good morning everybody. Melissa's off at work. It's supposed to get up to somewhere around close to 40 degrees today. And then tomorrow and the next day after that I think it's going to be rainy. Well, I ran a skill saw and a cord over here. I've got some of this junk wood that's been thrown on here from different little remodel projects and cleaning up around the yard. And instead of torching it all right here, I might as well cut some of it up and burn it in the workshop. I mean, it'll give me some heat in there. I think I'm going to go in and have some lunch. A lot of that stuff in there is frozen yet, but that's a nice pile right there. A few days of burning for sure. I was in the house today and there's like a different sound in the house. It almost sounds like for a couple of minutes, a plane is flying over or something. And what it is, remember last year I put in the secondary pump, which is a very expensive one, a sump pump. And the one that originally was with the house, that one burned out. Earlier this morning I was out here and this one was working. Even when I was down doing those shelves the other day, to me it sounded a little bit different. But then I thought, well, I'm hardly ever down in the basement. How would I really know? And then earlier I was out here and this was pushing water and it was water sitting all up against where the fence is right there. But it didn't seem like it was coming out quite as fast. And then right before I took a shower, I went downstairs just to make sure that it wasn't the furnace or something making some weird noise. And that's when I noticed that the new pump was the one that was pumping the water out of the basement. And this time of year, for the next month, this pump is going to be on, not constantly, but remember last year there was times when it would go 7 seconds or something like that before coming back on again? So now the expensive one on the left is working. The cheaper one that came with the house here is the one that burned out. And I do have another cheap one right here. I had bought this one to be a backup to the first one, and then I put in that second one, so then this is like the backup to the backup. So I'm going to want to get this, I think. I need to look at it and see if it even runs the same way. I don't like the idea of only having one pump. I like the idea of having that second backup pump, and right here you can see why. And that just goes to show you how, like, just being prepared for stuff like this is so important. I mean, look at right now, we're in this whole country is shutting down. I don't want to have to go to the store unless it's absolutely necessary to get parts for anything. So, yeah, I mean, everybody, we've thought about it our whole entire lives, and here it is. Everybody needs to be buckled down in place, and I just can't. I'm just happy that I was prepared for this. Tonight for dinner, I'm making up some chili. Well, I got chili made and took a shower and stuff. Sounds like it's not really going to start raining until tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night, but I figured I'd bring a load of this in, get it in the workshop anyway. Alright, I got the wood brought in here now. I brought in some of those old boards that were just stacked up over there too. They got snowed on before I could haul them in last fall. Yeah, so at least if I feel like it, I can come out here and start the wood stove and I won't be running out of wood. Oh, I was just out here. I brought Joni out to use the bathroom. And it's like, what's that sound? And now the old pump from down in the basement has started up again. So it definitely must be going out, but now we have water all over there again. So Melissa said in the middle of the night she woke up because Joni was barking, and I'm guessing that this pump is going out, and when that new one kicks in, like I said before, it makes a lot of different noise. This one here we're used to. But now look at it. It's just pushing it out beautifully. I still think I need to replace it. I think it's time for a different pump on that one right there. Just before that, Melissa and I went out and fed the cats, the chickens. Everybody's doing good.
What sound? Fletcher, I heard something. I heard a sound.
All right, it's almost 10:30 at night. We're going to bed. I was just watching Zachary's video that he just posted on Joe and Zach Survival of them moving, and I text with them and talk with them all the time, but it was pretty interesting to see it on video. Well, this morning I have just been cleaning up inside here. Melissa is off at work, so we're just kind of teaming up together, keep everything clean. I'm going to have chili for lunch. And tonight for supper, I'm going to make homemade sloppy joes, and I might even make homemade buns for that.
Where have you been? Well, I've been honeymooning, that's where.
They are here filling up the fuel oil, which is good because we will not need another fill now until next winter. I am making homemade rolls or buns or whatever you want to call it for tonight's Sloppy Joes. If this recipe turns out real good, I'll have to do it again, and I'll do a full, or Melissa can, on As the Rooster Crows on how to do this. Right now I'm just dissolving the yeast and letting that bloom. Starting to foam a little bit. Well, I added the sugar, waited about 5 minutes here, and it's really foaming now. Look how nice that looks. Now I need to add one large egg, and I'm going to put a duck egg in here because they are nice and large. Now I'm going to add my flour in here. I do have the oven right now preheating to 425. I'm going to cover them and let them sit for 5 minutes. A person doesn't realize, you know, back in the day when you couldn't go buy a loaf of bread and they had to make this for whatever meals they're going to make it. I mean, it would have taken them, I mean, all day. You're probably cooking for breakfast, then turn around and doing lunch, and then turn around and doing dinner. I sent Melissa that picture and said they're just about to go into the oven, and she goes, "Oh wow, look at you." And then I sent her this one showing her all the dishes in the sink, because I'm not allowed to do dishes. I do dishes, but she'd rather do them herself. She goes, "Oh my God, I better come home now." Well, I'm going to give them another minute or so to rise here. You're not supposed to let them rise much, but they're not going to get much bigger when they get in the oven. I think I'm going to give them 2 more minutes. Alright, I'm going to leave those in there for, it said between 10 and 12 minutes, but you're supposed to cut them into 10, and I cut them into 8, so I'll probably go to 12 minutes. Well, Melissa got home from work, and she actually had to stop at the store and get a couple of things, so she got a few other things that were on the list that we needed. So we're good here for a couple of weeks without having to go anywhere. And we got all that unloaded and put away, and now I'm just about to start making the homemade Sloppy Joes. Well, the sloppy joes are done. French fries are almost done, and we've got some of those homemade buns toasting in the oven. You really toasted those, didn't you? Well, the sloppy joes turned out awesome. Melissa said, I'm not a good judge of it because all like my mom would make was manwich. And I made her manwich, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and she said it was the rudest thing she ever had. And to me, that was sloppy joes, except for the ones in school. And her favorite ones are the ones in school that she would have. And I asked her on a scale of 1 to 10 then, what would you give this? And she said an 8. So it's definitely a hit, and those buns turned out absolutely awesome. I think right now I'm going to grab, not this whole pile, just a smaller load of wood, and I want to run it into the workshop because it is supposed to be rainy the next few days, and I might as well get a little bit more of this in there. I've just been using Melissa's truck to run it over there because hers is set up so I can just back it up here, and hers is lighter so it doesn't leave as big a ruts in the yard. Because you can see right here what happened yesterday when I drove in here. And this pump right here worked all night and all day today. Still going good. I don't know what happened to it. I still don't trust it anymore now. There we go, much better. Okay everyone, it's about 10:15 right now. Melissa's already in bed. I'm just about to jump in there. It's not raining yet. We were in there watching Star Trek Picard. Let's see what it's like in the morning. Good morning, everybody. I've been up for a while now. It's 9:30. Just a kind of a pukey day, kind of a little bit rainy and 37 degrees outside, 36 degrees in here. I thought I'd start up this wood stove. Might want to come out here and do something later. Made Melissa her lunch. I always make more than she can eat, but you never know with her if she's gonna have a late day and, you know, have to eat again or what. So she's pretty busy right now. I keep getting comments on the videos why I have these junk piles that I don't pick up in the workshop. And I have said it before, but the reason why is I have to wait until I have room in the garbage can to put that in there. It would do me no good to move it from here to somewhere else where it's just going to have to get picked up and put into the garbage can eventually anyway. So maybe this week I'll have some room. There were a couple times this winter where there probably was a little bit of room in there, but it was so cold and nasty out I didn't feel like bringing the garbage can all the way over here, but eventually I'll get them picked up. I'm actually thinking about cleaning up in here some, maybe today, sweep it. It's getting a little messy. I'm going to run up to the gas station. I filled the generator back up and put stabilizer in there. So that leaves me with 2 gas cans because I put the one into the tractor before that are empty, so I want to fill those up. We've got some rain and some possible ice coming here. I don't think it's going to be a big deal here, but ice and power going out kind of go together. So we will just make sure that I've got gas. All right, I'm gonna go inside and have some lunch. I want to see how hard this concrete cuts. I mean, this is old concrete, so it's fully cured. And I want to see how easily a cement blade goes through this. I cut quite a bit of concrete, so I'll be able to tell if this is something that will work or if it's not worth it. Well, I can definitely cut that down. That's not too bad. I might want to do it with a bigger chop saw. It would be nice if it had water hooked up to it, so not so much dust. Or even this way, but I would need, I don't have my good respirator here, and this stuff is hard on you, so, but yeah, at least it comes out. It won't be that bad. I'd like to come in here with the jackhammer on the bottom, but I think it's just going to mound it up because this is poured first and the concrete floor was poured against it. So this goes deeper. But eventually I will get it out of here. Well, Melissa, she got home from work, so I've been in there talking with her for a little bit. And now I'm going to put a chuck roast in the oven. But I thought I'd put some more wood in the stove here so I can make it back out here and do a little more cleaning up. I just watched the weather on TV and it's still promising to be a crappy day tomorrow. Get in the chair. Stay there. Well, I decided to bring Joni out. She can't run around, but as long as she stays on the chair, she'll be okay. Joni, sit down. I'm just getting these boards cleaned up and letting them dry out. These are nice grade boards. Some of them, like this one, is a lighter, probably pine, but a bunch of those are real hard, probably oak. I don't see any ash on the property, so it's probably something brought in. And the grain, from what I can see through the gray, looks like it's oak. But, and I mean, some of these have some rotted areas and stuff, but in the right piece of furniture, you could use some of that and it gives it a different kind of a unique look. The problem is I have an itch right now to do a project in here. But to do that project properly with this kind of wood, I need my planer. Because, you know, I can take and put the top side here together to make a tabletop or whatever, and I do have a joiner up here that I can run the edges, but I still need to run it through the planer to get the back side of it nice and smooth so everything is even. I mean, you can do it without, but it would be much easier. And right now, that planer's at the hobby farm in that workshop, and since my dad is still going out there, I'm sure he's not out there as right now during this shutdown thing. But it's important to me that it's there if he needs it, because then he'll use it on his aromatic cedar boards quite a bit. So right now I'm just putting these here at night when I leave. I put the fan on them to help dry them out. If anybody are watching this video who lives close by around here that has old grade boards, barn boards or whatever, and they're just laying out there and they're no good, let me know. I'd love to come and pick them up once we can socialize again and just get them stacked up, because this is the kind of stuff that I made the table or that island type deal in the kitchen, and that really turns out nice if you do it right. There's actually a subscriber, I think they were in Missouri, and they have some old weathered barn boards or some kind of barn boards that he said I could grab, but when I was in Louisiana, since everything shut down, I never had a chance to get an enclosed trailer to bring that furniture up. And if I did, I could have swung in there, and I'm sure I could have found some room in that trailer to get some of those boards. It's just hard to find them that are grade, or even if they're not grade, they have enough that are the same color of whatever they are, so you can do an odd project and everything at the end of the day will look the same. I need to go in pretty soon here and check that roast. Melissa does a lot of the cooking on the weekends. She'll do it during the week too, but now that I'm here all day and she has to go to work, it gives me something to do so I'm not idle. I don't do very good being idle for very long. Come on, let's go. Come on. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks a lot for watching. It's a little bit before 10:30. Melissa and I are going to bed. The weather is still nice. It's not crappy yet, but it should be by morning. I will see you guys on the next video.